Hey folks, this is Cloud Coach Ava, and today I'm excited to introduce you to KIRO. This is an AI agentic IDE that is transforming how we build software. What makes KIRO so special? Well, it goes beyond simple AI and chat assistance and introduces powerful spec-driven development approach combined with intelligent automation through agent hooks. I'm here already in KIRO, but let me tell you how I got started, and it was easy. I visited KIRO.dev, and then I downloaded the installer. I'm on Windows. It also supports Mac or Linux OS, and then I authenticated myself as my build.id, and then I was able to get started. So once I was set up in here, I explored various different options, and there is a project that I have been wanting to work on for a while, so I said, why don't I test it out with KIRO? So with KIRO, you can work by giving a spec, and then it's going to generate all the requirements, design artifacts, and then start executing the tasks for you. So it's very powerful. So that's the first option here. Secondly, it also uses agent hook, which is going to be helpful to automate repetitive tasks. You can also use agent steering, and it can connect you with MCP servers for different external tools or data sources that you want to include in your project. So I gave it a prompt really here, which was to create a AI chatbot for a Pacific Northwest hiking app. And I wanted this chatbot or app to specialize in answering questions about Pacific Northwest hikes and trails and gather input from the internet for the latest trip reports shared publicly. And I wanted to be able to publicly share the chatbot, but behind a login screen. And once I provided this requirement, this sort of high-level spec of what I wanted to do, let me show you the kind of artifact that KIRO created for me. So here they are. So it created the requirements doc, the design, as well as the tasks. And let's take a look at each one of them. Let's start with the requirements here. So this is in Markdown, as you can see the way I'm showing you. Hopefully that should work fine. So it gave the introduction for the requirement. Again, this is an AI-powered chatbot that is going to be publicly accessible but require authentication. And then based on that, it has a user story here. As a hiker, I want to ask questions about trails and receive accurate, up-to-date information. We provided the acceptance criteria and for this particular requirement, and then it continued with additional requirements as well. Here is, for example, requirement number 2. I want to access current trip reports and trail conditions. So this is the requirement artifact. The next thing that was generated was the design doc. So here is the design document here. We'll start at the top. And here is an overview. So it's a web-based application. It did create a high-level architecture that requires Mermaid. So I'm going to show you, let me show you this actually on the Mermaid website. So you can see here, this was the code that was generated, and based on the code, it produced the following. And this is quite a helpful flowchart. So we'll start with the browser. There's going to be a front end. There's going to be authentication service. I need to have a chatbot API that is going to connect with the AI LLM service, but also data gathering service, which can be cached and is going to have a therefore database. And also it requires a web scraper, since I wanted to connect with those or scrape those external hiking sources, such as the Washington Trail Association, All Trails, and a couple other ones as well. So this is part of the design doc, and let's take a look at what else it includes. Okay, and I'm back in KIRO here, and in the design document, and React, that's fine. I did end up talking with it, chatting with it afterwards. I wanted to have a Vite and just kind of simplify a little bit, modernize, so it changed it after the fact, but this was the original technology stack that it proposed, and it gave me the different tools that it was going to use. I'm also going to make a change here to ask it to use 𝗀𝗽𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 instead of this more generic approach that it has listed. So front-end components, back-end services, etc. Artifact that was created based on my spec was the task list. So here is the task list. Let's look at it from the top. So my particular implementation plan has something like, several tasks, and then you can execute. So if you click here, it's going to execute the task. So I have already, as you can see, executed the first task and it completed. And now I have the front end created. I'm going to show you it momentarily. But you can continue in the same way with all the tasks, so they're executable. And then if you want to make any changes, you can talk with KIRO here through the chat, and then it's going to adjust accordingly. So currently, after it completed task 1, I asked it to launch my React front end for me to test it. So it's currently running here on localhost, and let me show you what that looks like. So here is my front end, and I did go back and forth a couple of times to change the color scheme a little bit, but this is very nice. I think that's acceptable at this point for me. I might add some images maybe, but the front end looks good, and then I'm going to continue developing from here. So this took me something like maybe 15-20 minutes, including the back and forth, and I'm going to continue exploring. So I hope that you found this helpful and it gave you some idea how to interact with KIRO, and you're going to give it a try yourself. Thanks for watching, and till next time.